Welcome back to our Deep Dive Crypto podcast. Today, we're going to explore one of the most fascinating stories unfolding in the blockchain world: how Ethereum is shaping global innovation, from national digital identity systems to major market movements. And one of the most unexpected players in this narrative is Bhutan.
That's right. Bhutan, a small Himalayan kingdom known for gross national happiness, has quietly become one of the most forward-thinking blockchain adopters on the planet. And recently, it made headlines by staking around 320 ETH, roughly $970,000, through Figment. This isn't just a casual experiment. It is a strategic escalation of the country's engagement with Ethereum and the broader crypto ecosystem.
And the message Bhutan is sending is clear. Digital assets and blockchain are becoming part of its national economic and governmental strategies. Through staking, Bhutan can earn rewards that might later be funneled into public projects, from sustainable development to technology programs aimed at reducing unemployment.
But staking is just one part of the story. Bhutan is also migrating its entire self-sovereign digital identity system from Polygon to Ethereum. This is huge. A national identity system running on Ethereum means citizens gain more control over their personal data through decentralized verification. No more dependence on vulnerable centralized databases.
Exactly. The digital identity transition is expected to be fully completed by early 2026, and insiders in the Ethereum community have confirmed this timeline. When that happens, Bhutan will become one of the first nations on Earth to implement a truly blockchain-native identity infrastructure.
This makes Bhutan not just an early adopter, it becomes a global model for how small countries can modernize governance. But beyond identity and staking, Bhutan's crypto strategy also opens new economic doors. For example, nearly 1,000 merchants are being onboarded to accept cryptocurrency payments, simplifying tourism transactions for tech-savvy travelers.
Tourism is a major income source for Bhutan, so enabling payments in Bitcoin or Ethereum may attract a whole new demographic of digital native visitors. It's interesting how crypto is becoming part of national economic resilience strategies.
And it's not just tourism. Fintech startups across Asia are already eyeing Bhutan's regulated crypto ecosystem, especially the Galefu Mindfulness City Zone, which is the only region authorized for crypto mining and trading under strict oversight. Startups can theoretically plug into Bhutan's digital ID system for cross-border payroll solutions.
Right. Imagine onboarding international contractors using a digital identity verified on Ethereum. No piles of documents, no weeks of verification. It could be done securely and instantly through self-sovereign identity.
European SMEs, by the way, could learn a lot from this. Bhutan shows that decentralized identity strengthens privacy, reduces fraud, and lowers infrastructure costs by leaning on existing public networks like Ethereum.
And all of this, from staking to identity to governance, feeds into a bigger question. How does Bhutan's bold crypto investment challenge traditional finance?
Well, dramatically. Bhutan has hydropower resources that allow cheap, renewable Bitcoin mining. Combine that with Ethereum's role in government operations, and you get a blueprint for a self-sustaining digital economy that bypasses traditional banks and foreign investors.
It flips the script entirely. Instead of relying on outside financial institutions, Bhutan is building a sovereign digital future powered by open blockchain networks.
And market analysis segment. Now, let's shift to what's happening in the broader crypto market, especially Ethereum. Recently, ETH dipped to about $2,850, right inside a major historical discount zone. Traders like Merline the Trader see a repeating three-phase wave pattern in ETH's price. If the trend holds, we might be in the second corrective phase before a third upward surge, potentially pushing ETH toward $9,000.
That would be a massive leap, and analysts are paying close attention to the ETH to Bitcoin ratio, which currently sits at around 0.0325. Historically, rebounds from this level have led to gains exceeding 140%. Michael van de Poppe suggests Ethereum could outperform Bitcoin in the coming months if support holds.
On-chain analysis highlights the $2,600 to $2,800 range as a potential reversal zone. Traders like Leonard Snyder are zeroing in on 2680 and 2620, with a key demand zone at 2570.
Meanwhile, the broader crypto market cap climbed to $3.1 trillion, with 80 of the top 100 coins in the green. Bitcoin is consolidating around $898,000, but Ethereum's climb back to $2,938 signals growing buyer interest. According to Robin Singh from Coinly, this is the typical Christmas hibernation phase, low activity, but possibly a calm before a storm.
And speaking of storms, Solana continues to impress with a rise to $139 and fresh entry into the top 10 cryptocurrencies. Institutional adoption is helping power its momentum.
Then there's Mutuum Finance, an emerging DeFi project that's gaining traction. It's launching a decentralized lending and borrowing protocol on Ethereum, with the first testnet version scheduled for late 2025. Security audits from Certic and Helburn add credibility to its roadmap.
With liquidity pools, stablecoin creation, and automated liquidation systems, Mutuum is positioning itself as a practical solution for scalable DeFi. ETH and USDT are planned as the first collateral assets. Arthur Hayes on Ethereum and Solana.
Now let's discuss one of the strongest and most controversial opinions in the space. Arthur Hayes, co-founder of BitMEX, recently argued that only Ethereum and Solana have lasting potential among Layer 1 blockchains.
He didn't sugarcoat it either. In a recent interview, he dismissed Layer 1 newcomers like Monad as lacking substance and predicted they will ultimately collapse. Hayes believes Ethereum's dominance comes from its increasing acceptance by traditional finance. Big institutions have realized the limitations of private blockchains and are migrating real Web3 operations onto public networks like Ethereum.
Hayes also highlighted the explosion of stablecoin usage as a major factor driving Ethereum's staying power. Meanwhile, he sees Solana as technically strong, but not capable of surpassing Ethereum long-term, especially with the fading meme coin hype.
And his comments about Monad were brutal. Despite MON initially jumping 19% during launch, Hayes called it a speculative asset destined for a 99% crash. And indeed, after the hype faded, the token dropped over 90%.
Interestingly, Hayes admits he still buys some of these high-risk tokens, but only for short-term trades. Long-term, he trusts only Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana.
Institutional behaviors appear to support his view. Ethereum ETFs from giants like Franklin Templeton and Grayscale continue to see inflows. Even Solana-based ETFs are gaining momentum.
The result, a crypto landscape consolidating around a few dominant ecosystems: Ethereum for infrastructure, Solana for high-speed retail-driven activity, and everything else fighting to stay relevant.
So whether we're talking about nations like Bhutan leveraging Ethereum for digital identity and economic resilience, or analysts forecasting a major ETH recovery, one thing is crystal clear: Ethereum remains at the heart of global blockchain innovation.
Agreed. From markets to governance to institutional adoption, Ethereum is shaping the next phase of the digital economy. And as we've seen, the world, whether large institutions or small mountain kingdoms, is paying very close attention.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want more long-form discussions like this, stay subscribed, and we'll see you in the next episode.